pre-baby jitters are happening. I think we have finally decided on a name, like the real thing. So I was like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree, also known as Honey Bree if you follow me over on Instagram, and today's video is dedicated to my 32-week pregnancy update. I'm excited to share what I'm sharing in this video because I cannot believe we're 32 weeks already. That is like, I say already. Honestly, the past 2 weeks have flown by, but before that, it felt like this whole pregnancy was dragging, and I feel like a lot of pregnant women can feel me on that. And a lot of people were like, oh, I feel like your pregnancy is flying by. No sis, it's not. But the past couple of weeks, I definitely feel like they have. At 32 weeks, I feel like I am so much more tired than I have been this entire pregnancy. And being pregnant, you kind of have like this preset exhaustion level as it is super intense the past 2 weeks. And I feel like I've been sleeping a lot. Yeah, that's where I've been. But we have some things to do today. I'm gonna fix up my hair. I need a haircut so bad, but I don't know if I want to cut it or if I want somebody else to cut it. Anyway, I'm gonna do this really quick and then I will check back in with y'all after that. Okay, now that that is done, I went ahead and grabbed my iPad because I need to pull up my notes. Like I said, there has been a couple of things that happened that I wanted to make sure to include in this video for myself and for others if you're interested in my personal experience being pregnant the second time. Number 2, I had my 32-week appointment last Friday, which was a couple of days ago now. We went over the results of my 31-week growth scan, which was a week before that, and I had that ordered because they like to make sure that baby is growing appropriately when you are overweight. But also, I didn't know this. If you guys haven't seen the video, we caught 3 weeks ago now, I think. If you are pregnant and you catch that virus, they actually want to schedule you for a growth scan just to make sure that everything is cool with baby, which I thought was cool. But since I waited so long to do my 28-week growth scan at 31 weeks, which was actually after I had it, they said that I didn't get another one, which is fine. So baby is in the 53rd percentile already for weight. He was weighing about, I think it was 315. He was actually measuring perfectly for his due date, and that is the second time this pregnancy that has happened. My OB was telling me that one time it happens, like she doesn't see it all the time, but it is a occurring thing, and having that done twice is unheard of. At my 20-week appointment, he was measuring on par with his due date perfectly, like to the day, and then at my 31-week growth scan, he is still measuring to the day. So this is a November 24th due date baby, and she expects him to come on the 24th of November. I am wondering if he's gonna be a due date baby because Mason, my firstborn, was a due date baby. That would be cool to see if I have 2 due date babies. I don't really know that I want to go to the due date though, because I am so over being pregnant. Like I said earlier, I am so tired. I'm so exhausted. My appetite is definitely ramping up though. I feel myself eat more than I actually am hungry for, and I regret it after because there's not a lot of room in here. I stay hungry though. That's been cool, I guess. Trigger warning for those who don't care to know this kind of stuff. I'm about to talk about my weight, so if you want to skip to this time, I know weight can be a very sensitive topic, especially for pregnancy. I definitely don't want to trigger anybody, but anyway, I have gained a total of 14 pounds this pregnancy, and from my 28-week appointment to my 32-week appointment, I actually lost 0.1 of a pound, which is like, what, 2 ounces? I wasn't expecting that, but I mean, that's good because I started this pregnancy off being overweight according to, you know, their charts. In my last pregnancy, I had gained a total of 50 pounds. Like I was, I believe, like in the 150s, and I was like 208 the day I checked in to deliver. I think I was 186 at the beginning of this pregnancy, so I was still holding on to about 30 pounds of my last pregnancy weight gain, and I've only gained about 14 pounds. My OB said that she has no concerns there. The baby's growing perfectly. My blood pressure is fine. I did pass my gestational diabetes test, all that good stuff. So my weight gain is good for me. According to the CDC online, they're saying that because my starting BMI was considered overweight, I should only gain a total of 15 to 25 pounds this pregnancy. So yeah, I've only gained about 14 pounds, but I still have 8 weeks left to gain weight. And I do remember I probably put on like 10 of my 50 pounds in the last like month and a half with Mason. I feel like that has to do with the fact that I just got so tired so quickly, and I was still eating the the way I was eating. So I'm hoping that I could stay relatively active, not push myself too far, because I do know I need the rest, and I do know that my body telling me I need the rest is a very important signal that I need to pay attention to, because I am not going to be getting a lot of rest in the first couple of months that this baby is born. I hope that's not the case. Mason was a great sleeper, but they say every child is different. So I'm expecting the best, preparing for the worst. I have no restrictions as of now. I can continue to work out, no dietary restrictions or anything like that. We have the system here where you go to your OB on your base, which I live on Kadena, so I've been going to the Kadena med group for all of my appointments, but now at 32 weeks they move you over to the hospital on Foster, which is where you actually deliver, and I have to schedule that appointment for my 36 weeks, and I believe at 36 weeks is when you start going every week. And then from there it'll be preparing for baby to arrive. Also, I would like to mention that I got my first Braxton Hicks contractions this past week. It was 31 weeks and 5 days, which was totally unexpected. I actually have been using the What to Expect app to keep up with like baby's growth and stuff like that. Not as tightly as I did with my first pregnancy, you know, it's my second pregnancy, so it's like I've been here, done this kind of thing, but it's still interesting to know like where your baby is in their development and just like have an idea of what's going on. So I definitely love those apps for that specifically, and only that. It actually mentioned that I would start feeling Braxton Hicks contractions at 32 weeks. So I was like, oh, this is interesting, because I forgot what that felt like. And if you don't know, Braxton Hicks contractions are like practice contractions. Your body is preparing for labor. They don't hurt or anything like that. It's just my belly felt so tight, like the entire thing. Sometimes it feels really tight in some areas, and some areas it's like not so tight, but my entire abdomen got like really tight. And I was like, oh yeah, we having a Braxton Hicks contraction. Threw me back to when I was pregnant with Mason and in labor, like the real thing. Have to mention that. Okay, so I just remembered I have to wash Mason's sleeping mat for school tomorrow before I forget, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in right now. The most exciting thing I think about this entire video is the fact that I think we have finally decided on a name. One of his names I have been so stuck on probably since 15 weeks. Like, I was pretty convinced that I wanted to call him that name, and then it took forever, it felt like, to figure out a name that would go with it as a first name or middle name. I don't really care as long as this name was used. And I'm super excited because that was on my list of things to do, and yeah, I'm really glad that's finally, you know, decided. Also, how cute is his sleep mat? I love this. I'm so jealous. Like, I didn't have one of these. Cause look, it comes with a pillow, a comforter, and the mat is huge. If you guys have never seen the States sleeping mats, they are pitiful compared to this. Because we are within the last 10 weeks, I am on my planning BS, if you will. I just don't want everything to catch up with me all at once, and I don't feel like that happened with Mason. But with it being my first time, I definitely felt like I was more on my game then than I am now. We have a majority of literally everything that we need, but I don't want everything to catch up with me like the last 2 weeks when I'm absolutely exhausted, as big as I'm gonna get, and anticipating his arrival. I went ahead and started making a to-do list of things that I need to do, and then also a list of things that I still need to buy. Things on my to-do list are like prep freezer meals. We got to build the bassinet because it's just sitting in the closet right now, not even put together. I have to wash the newborn and 0 to 3 month clothes that we have in storage. It's been 2 years since Mason was in those. I want them to be fresh and clean and ready to go. And then also I need to prep the diaper cart, which is currently in the laundry room being used as Mason's snack cart. And I got to figure out where I'm going to start storing his snacks. I do want him to still have access to those, but I don't know where I'm going to put them yet. So I got to figure that out. And then also I have to pack my hospital bag, which I haven't decided when I want to do that in particular. I made a post on a Facebook group asking the women who have given birth here like what their experience was in terms of supplies that the hospital provides, because, you know, being on an island, just being overseas in general, I have no idea what to expect. So I reached out, and a lot of them said that the postpartum stuff will be supplied, which is nice because that was the case in Tampa. So I actually bought 0 postpartum supplies for myself because they were all given to me by the hospital, and some for when we left, which will be nice. And they said that that was the case here. year, so that's super exciting. And then when it comes to baby, I wanted to make sure that I knew what they supplied for the baby as well. And it's everything, just like the postpartum stuff, but they typically don't have newborn diapers. And Mason was in newborn diapers for the first month of his life. I think I'm just gonna buy like a small pack of newborn size diapers just to have if he is small enough to fit into those. I would rather have those if he's on the larger side than the size ones that the hospital provides. Should be no problem. And then the prepping freezer meals was problematic because we didn't have a freezer to put these meals that I wanted to prep. So I've basically just been getting an idea of what I want to prep, creating a board on Pinterest just to keep up with those recipes because that's usually where I go for dinner and meal recipes anyway. But Mason and I went on a walk yesterday. It was just like a little short half-mile walk around the block, and we came across a freezer on the side of the road. So I texted Bryce, we've been talking about getting one, and he was like, oh, it's gonna be broken or something. And I was like, it might be, but I at least want to take it home and see. He brought it home, I cleaned it, and I turned it on. I put a cup of water in there just to make sure it did freeze, and it works. I'm excited because that just saved us a whole lot of money. I have a list of things I need to buy, like newborn diapers, a long phone charger, because I remember that being so nice, being able to charge my phone while it was still plugged in. When you're in the hospital and in labor, everybody wants to know how you're doing all the time, and it's just nice to have a long enough phone charger for you to be able to use your phone. And then also jumbo pads, because that was something else that they said that the hospital didn't typically have. They have regular size pads, but they didn't have like the jumbo ones that I had in postpartum, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of those. Disposable undies was another one that they said that they ran out of a lot, and I want to have some of those. Like I said, I didn't buy any postpartum supplies with Mason, but just having to grab a couple of things for myself so I know that I have those comforts is gonna be nice. And then also a car seat. I have a friend who graciously gave us a newborn car seat, and I was hoping that it was gonna fit into our stroller because that was such a convenience, having a car seat and stroller duo that could like fit into each other, so that way you can take the car seat out of the car and clip it right into the stroller, no problem, and it doesn't do that. So we're gonna end up getting a different car seat just so we can be able to do that. Since that one didn't work out, I need to order that ASAP. If not, go shopping for one at the BX because they do price matching. So honestly, we could probably go to the BX and grab one. It's getting down to the wire now, and I am just like trying my best to get as much done as possible without overdoing it. I just don't want something to come up and I wasn't necessarily prepared for it. This is my second time around, so I'm not as anxious about this as I was with Mason. I don't know, maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm on an island and things aren't as accessible to me as they were, so I'm just worried that if I don't order them on Amazon or something, because it takes like a week and a half for things to get here, that I'm just gonna be SOL, and I'm not trying to be SOL. That's where I am. Got my baby prep to-do list, my running baby prep to-do list, because every day I feel like I add something else. I will probably be packing up my hospital bag in the next couple of weeks, and I do plan on recording that. I did have a lot of good feedback on my last one, and this bag is definitely gonna be different than my first bag. I did not use a majority of the things in my first bag, so this next bag is gonna be so minimal, especially because I also was told that if you already have a kid at home, that they try to get you in and out as fast as possible. I have less than 10 weeks, and in 3 days I'm gonna be 33 weeks, and then we're gonna have a little baby around. Oh man. Pre-baby jitters are happening. So the boys are waking up from their afternoon nap, and we have to go get ready to go to the grocery store, which I guess I'll take you guys along for because we'll be going off base, and I don't think I have shown an off base grocery store yet. I gotta go get Mason, get him ready. I have to go wake Bryce up and get him ready too, basically, and then we'll be out the door. But yeah, that's our plans for the rest of the day, and then I'll probably come home and do some editing for Papacito. All right, gotta go, bye.